Every week there's a minimum of 10 grand to be won on the AFTV PICK10. Now remember, you don't have to get them all right, you just have to get them most right. Click the link below and play.
Hi and welcome along to the Invincible podcast. Lee Judges and me in the building, in the same building for the first time in over a month.
Yeah, over a month.
Over a month. Yeah,
it
has gone quick, man, and it's good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
Yeah, man, we've been far apart. I've been over there in Qatar at the World Cup. You was over here working the studio and stuff like. How you been, man?
I've been good. I've really enjoyed the World Cup. I've got to say, better than what I thought it was.
Yeah.
But I'm glad it's over, Robbie. I am glad it's over. The proper football is back, and it's back on Boxing Day. But yeah, it's been a great few weeks. A festival of football, got to say.
Yeah, Lee, man, I tell you what, being out there at the World Cup, it was brilliant. I have to say. I mean, listen, before we went out there was a lot of criticism towards Qatar. Why have they got it? This ain't gonna go right. That ain't gonna go right. We heard about a lot of the controversies. I have to say, going out there, it was a wonderful World Cup.
Yeah.
They got everything spot on. The grounds were brilliant. The fans were brilliant, right? Every ground was packed. We had some epic games, including an absolutely epic final.
Yeah.
It was well organised. Lee, I did not see one arrest in all the games I went to. I didn't even see not even a hint of trouble. You went to games, there was families there. There was loads of women at games. It was just a festival of football, and I saw some brilliant games over there. And also the fact that one of the criticisms of it before was, it's all going to be in one place with the stadiums all sort of near, right? I think the furthest drive we had to go to a stadium was about 45 minutes, right? But actually, that criticism turned out to be false, because what it did is it made for even better for me, because you had all the fans all in one place. So you could go into a shopping mall, or you could go into anywhere around, especially at the start of the tournament, and there were just fans from all over the world, mingling, talking, having a laugh, laughing with the locals. It was it was brilliant. It was what football should be all about, right? And then, the fact that you could watch in one day. I mean, you had the possibility at one stage of watching 4 games in a day. It was really difficult to do because it's hard to get away from games. But me, I watched, I think over the period of those the time that I was there, because remember I went out there slightly after because my brother was ill. So I went there about 5 days after it started. But I watched over 40. I was saying to Flex the other day, I go, I've watched over 40 games.
That's incredible.
And I go, we play 38 games in the Premier League.
Yeah, that's incredible.
I've watched the season's worth of games in about a month. I mean, I remember one day I went to watch Brazil versus Croatia. Remember that game when Croatia equalised in the last minute and it went to penalties. Left from that game and went and watched Argentina versus Netherlands.
What a day
which
that
was another epic game when they scored that free kick right at the end to equalise, and that went to penalties. I watched those 2 games in the same day. I watched Harry Kane. Now, I didn't even get what was your thoughts on that one? When he stepped up to take that penalty and he blasted it over the bar. I could not believe it. I'm like, this guy never does that against Arsenal.
No, never does it against anybody. It's a very, very good penalty. So I never thought he was going to miss, to be fair.
He was a bag of nerves, man, before he took it. I was right behind the goal, and he was there. He was taking big, deep breaths. He was going, I was like, hey, I don't normally see him do that. He was a bag of nerves.
Let the country down. Let the country down, at the end of it. But and I can't wait to give it to him when in a couple of weeks at White Hart Lane.
And also, I saw your video where you were saying, why did he take Saka off? And I felt the same thing at the time. I'm like, all right, Saka's a little bit tired, but so was Foden, so was all in play. Why did he take him off?
I'll never understand.
Saka was brilliant.
So he was brilliant. I've got to say that, and we've been saying it all the time. And when you're doing a DR Sports, one of the things that's good about that is that you meet other fans, Chelsea fans, Man United fans, and none of them were giving the credit to Saka before the tournament. It should be Foden. He'd be lucky if he gets minutes and all that. at the end of the tournament,
Yeah.
every one of them coming up, oh, he's got to start now, he's the main man, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But
No,
we've
exactly.
known that for a very, very long
It's the
while.
same thing I said to Flex when I was out there. I was out with Flex, who of course does the United View, the Man United channel, and he's going, yeah, I like Saka, but he shouldn't start and things like that, right? And the same thing. And after a couple of games of seeing him, he's like, hey, you know what? He's brilliant, man.
Yeah.
He's brilliant. And I'm like, you know what? We watch him play every week.
Yeah.
So we see how good he is on a consistent. What I like about Saka, he's consistently good.
Yeah.
And you saw that in the tournament. And remember, he's only 21.
Only 21, and he's
Just turned.
just turned, and also he actually has played and been fantastic in an Arsenal team that hasn't been great. You know,
Yeah.
he carried Arsenal for a while. You know, at 20 years of age.
Yeah.
And then now he's putting in performance with better players around him, and he's just going to get better and better. But that is the star boy of the England team now. I don't care what everybody says. You know, he come out with it. Everybody's going on about Foden. I thought Foden was disappointing in the actual tournament, if I'll be honest. There was a couple of little flashes, but nowhere near at the level of Saka.
Yeah.
And I'm not being biased when I say that, because at the end of it, I'm a big Grealish fan. I like Grealish. I don't understand why he doesn't get as many minutes as he should do. I bet he's one of the when Gareth said I'm staying, I bet Grealish and God.
But Grealish doesn't have, even when you talk about players like Grealish, right, doesn't have the end product of Saka.
No, he's got it all.
Saka scores goals. You know what I mean?
Got the penalty, didn't he,
You've got wins penalties. He creates assists. I remember there was one game he created an assist for Harry Kane. He blasted that over the bar as well. Yeah. Right? So it was a great tournament for him. However, disaster. Right? I was at that game when Jesus limped off for Brazil. And at that time, I was thinking, all right, I hope it's nothing too serious. It couldn't have been more serious. Knee injury, out for up to 3 months, and a massive blow. I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, well, Arsenal have come out of the tournament well because most of their players didn't really play. Right? So, you know, but we've suffered an injury to our best player.
Yeah.
That's going to keep him out for until at least the end of February. And for me, that's a huge, huge blow. Huge. We're going to touch on that. We're going to touch on how we get around that with the games we got coming up. We've also got our AFTV PICK10.
Yes.
That's back in action as well. By the way, what was you doing yesterday? I heard a little rumour, man. What were you doing on the dark side?
Things I do for you, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day.
For me?
Well...
What are you doing on the dark side, bro?
Well, with the DR Sports, with the prediction battle and all that, they thought they'd spice it up a little bit, because Abby's a Spurs fan, and obviously me being an Arsenal fan, and we was doing a lot of content together and that. So they said, right, well, we're putting you two up against each other
in the PICK10.
In the PICK10. Oh, bloody! I thought, well, like if she's anything like you, it's just going to be a breeze. She's bloody good at it, weren't she? Like, do you know what I mean? Like studying it and everything like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm looking at it. I'll tell you how bad it is. So, and the forfeit was to go to Spurs and buy 5 shirts.
So if she lost, she'd have to go to Arsenal.
She goes to Arsenal and buys 5 Arsenal shirts, and then I can, like, you know, I get an Arsenal shirt, and the rest she puts on her socials for you know, like for people to win, you know. So
you had to go and buy 5 Tottenham shirts.
Yeah. So that was the bet. Yeah, and like there was one guy. I see. This is the thing. In this PICK10, and I don't know who was doing them, but they were winding me up, Robbie. They were winding me, getting me. Harry Kane to score every time. Well, she was putting that down every time. She said she was getting a point on me every time, like, you know what I mean? Well, it got so bad when I thought, like, I was desperate, I was starting to lose, it was slipping away. I put Harry Kane to score, like, you know what I mean?
That's probably when he blasted
it. Yeah,
well,
no, he scored in the penalty, didn't he? He got the penalty. So, so that was the thing. So I had to go down Spurs yesterday and buy 5 shirts.
Bloody hell.
Like, you know what I mean? And
then give them to her.
And then give them to her, like, yeah. And do you know what ironic this is? I tell you, like, you know, when the video comes out, you'll see it cost £400. Cost me £400.
£400.
£400. Like, you know, I mean, she's gone and got the ones with Kane on the back, £95 a pop. And there was one other one was a bit cheaper, like, you know, a retro one that she wanted for herself. Thank God. And then it was. They go, do you want a bag? Like, with this silly cockerel on it, like, you know what I mean? So I said, not really. Yes, we'll have a bag. Right, 20p. They, £400 I've spent, and they charge you for the 20p for the bag. It's ridiculous. I had a go at them.
Mind you, they do that at the Arsenal shop as well. They still
Well,
do charge you for it.
sometimes they give you
chuck it in.
Chuck it in.
You know what, right? I was when I was over in Qatar. Obviously, you're meeting fans from all over the world. You're meeting fans from, especially down in the Middle East, right? Loads of fans from Saudi Arabia and Iran. Fans were there, and they were from all over, right? Everybody, they're Arsenal mad down there. Arsenal got a huge fan base in the Middle East, massive, right? Everybody asking me about can we win the league, stuff like that, right? Massive, right? Lot of Man United fans down there. Lot of Liverpool fans down there. Some City fans. I didn't meet one person. This is when Tottenham's all going on about some big club. I didn't meet one person down there who said they were a Tottenham fan. Not one.
It goes to show you, doesn't it?
Big club. We're a huge club, man. And the question everybody was asking is, you going to win the league? Like the other fans would be like for other clubs. Think you're going to win the league then? I must have been asked that question 1,000 times. And then Arsenal fans were saying, what do you reckon, Robbie? Do you think we can win it? What do we need to do? We've got to strengthen. What are we going to do now Jesus is out? And I'm asking the same question today. What are we going to do now Jesus is out? It's a massive blow.
I think it's a game changer. I'm going to be really honest with you, him coming to the club has changed Arsenal. Those 14 games, 2 players, him and Saliba.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like have changed. Forget about Zinchenko. He's been injured a lot. Them two have been the difference between 5th, 6th to where we are now. 5 points clear. He's been massive. I look at the game against Wolves before the break. It was a tough game. You know what I mean? We was on top, but we needed a little bit of magic. He provided it, and then Odegaard scored, and then from then on we was brilliant. We've lost that now. Now Eddie's a completely different player. He's not going to do that. He's not going to be that one that's going to be a game changer as far as changing plays and things like that. I've been very, very disappointed with the Arsenal fans that have already written him off. No, he ain't good enough. He ain't good enough. Yeah,
because that has been very unfair. Because remember when he came in last year,
he done
remember that Chelsea game and that.
I remember
from then
that
till the end of I'm sure it was 5 goals he scored, didn't he?
Yeah, he scored 2 that night.
Yeah, so he can score goals, and we do have to give Eddie a chance. And who knows, he could rise to the occasion. But I am a bit worried.
Oh, of course we're worried. Look, I'll go back to that Chelsea game, and I'll hold my hands up. As we got the team news, it was Martinelli was on the bench that day. And we'd lost to those 3 games. Do you remember Crystal Palace and Southampton? And he's put Eddie up front. And a lot of Arsenal fans, and I'm going to be honest, I was singing it as well, like, if Eddie plays for Arsenal, so can I, as we was going into the Stamford Bridge, because we was annoyed about what had gone on and, didn't think it was good enough. He was fantastic that day, and he turned a few Arsenal fans around. So I think that he deserves a little bit more. He deserves a chance. People have already said, he ain't done well in this and that. Well, he hasn't had all those players around him. He has now. He's going to have Odegaard, Martinelli, Saka around him. So he has to perform now. He's been given the number 14 shirt by Mikel, given a big contract by Mikel. So Mikel has backed him. And it's up to him now to do it. Would it be great if we come away with a 3-0 win against West Ham with an hat-trick? That would be a lot.
That'd be amazing.
It'd be amazing.
It's amazing, but he's also under a lot of pressure.
He's under a lot of pressure.
It's what I feel. I feel now that, he's a confident lad. The fact that he took that number 14 shirt, the fact that he's always backing himself and saying, I want to play in that. Even the other day, I thought to myself, he's confident in that. Ghana wanted him for the World Cup. And he said no. He must harbour ambitions of playing for England, right? So he's confident in his own ability. He's going to have to show it now, right? We got some big games coming up, right? The 2 in front of us over the Christmas period, of course, Boxing Day against West Ham, and then Brighton on New Year's Eve. All eyes are going to be on him. Now, the big difference I see, between him and Gabriel Jesus, right, is the ability to dribble, the ability to run at players. When we've got Gabriel, Martinelli, and also Saka, all three of them run at players. They get the ball, they drive at players, they go left, they go right, they cause havoc, right? Defenders have real problems in dealing with those three, right? They take defenders out of position and create space for other players. That's why the goals have been shared around, I think. So Jesus, all right, he may not have been prolific this season, but how many times has he created chances? And he may not be the assist, but he's been the catalyst to creating something that opens up
the assist.
The pre-assist or whatever you want to call it. But he's a catalyst to a lot of these attacks, right? Same with Saka, same with Martinelli. I don't think you're going to get that from Eddie. He's not that type of player. Eddie Nketiah is the type of player who's going to be on the end of things. He uses his pace to try and get past players, maybe a little flick and try and use his pace to get beyond players. But that's a bit easier for defenders to deal with sometimes.
Totally agree.
And then that frees up less space for, because you think about how many goals have been scored by midfield players like Xhaka, Partey, Odegaard, just been when there's space at the edge of the box. And they've, what Eddie does do very well is he's pressing. He's brilliant. He presses from the front. He's right up on defenders. So those three pressing will be brilliant, but he's not Jesus. And it worries me a bit if he doesn't hit the ground running. If he doesn't hit the ground running, I'm a bit fearful. It could go either way. He could hit the ground running, and then bag quite a few goals over the period and be that guy, or he could, start off with a couple of duds and then his confidence.
That's the worry. That's the worry. That's a great point you make about Jesus. I think there are completely and utterly different.
Completely different.
You're right when you're saying that. Like, he's more of a goal scorer than Jesus.
Yeah.
And I'll make you right. I think, and I don't mean this any disrespect to Eddie whatsoever. I think Jesus, the centre half that he's playing up on the day before the games, thinking, I've got to go up against him today. And he straight away he's in there ready, he worries them. I've seen him do things in a game. I remember a game against Tottenham, Romero and Dyer, he turned them inside out and it panicked them.
Yeah.
Eddie hasn't got that in his armoury. He's not going to panic the centre halves at West Ham. And
no, they're going to be confident.
They're confident they'll be able to go right, squeeze up on him and everything like that. Where he's got to be like, and this is where I think now Saka and Martinelli, and more importantly Odegaard, have got to step up. They've got to create those things for him.
Yeah.
And then when they create, he has got to score.
Yeah. But this is his moment, right?
This is his moment, yeah.
I feel with Eddie Nketiah right now, right, the talking is over now, right? You've talked a good one, and you're saying that, you want the number 14, you got it. You wanted a renewed contract, or you're going elsewhere to play your football, which is fair enough. You're a professional footballer. You want to play, right? You got the contract, £100,000 a week, good contract, right? You've been in and around the squad. You haven't really had your opportunity because Jesus has been brilliant and the others, right? You've been a bit part player. Now is your moment. This is your chance, Eddie, right? People might be criticising, people might be saying they're not sure you're going to be good enough. This is your Saka moment. This is your Martinelli moment.
Yeah.
This is your breakthrough moment to show every Arsenal fan and to show all of the players around the Premier League that, hey, this Eddie Nketiah is serious. And this Eddie Nketiah is a striker that scores goals. This Eddie Nketiah is someone to be feared. This is the moment. It's now. This is it. And I feel that if he doesn't deliver, and it might be a bit unfair, but if he doesn't deliver, it could be that by the end of the season, Arsenal will be looking and saying, right, we're going to move on from Eddie.
Right,
and go and bring someone else.
I'm sorry.
So this is it. This is it.
Football's ruthless.
Yeah, this is
ruthless.
it.
You want to be a bit part player. You want to be a bit part player at the Arsenal. Don't do the business. If you want to be the main man, do the business.
I want Eddie Nketiah to make us forget about Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah, that's what
I want Eddie Nketiah to play so well that when Jesus is fit,
I'll tell you,
we're saying, you know what?
Listen, this is
Jesus off the bench.
This is a moment for me, and I don't know if you remember it. when Leno got injured at Brighton. Do you remember? And we was all in the street. I think it was COVID at the time. We was
we were like this.
do you remember? We was going.
That's it.
No, that's it.
Done.
It's done. We're in trouble.
Yeah,
we're in trouble. We've got Martinez coming in now. He, whether you like him or not, stepped up to the plate. Produced 14 performances of world-class stuff. Where is he now? World Cup.
You know what? You make a great point there, Lee. Right? Because you think about it, right? It was even worse than Eddie because he come from nowhere. He was been the reserve goalkeeper at Arsenal for 10 years. Been on loans, hadn't done it. When he come in, like you said, everyone's thinking, maybe he can step in for one game, but this guy till the end of the season is a disaster. He won us the FA Cup, and he, like you said, he's gone on to win the World Cup and the Copa America. Yeah. He's one of the most decorated goalkeepers ever. Took his chance, run with it, confident, done the business. And then we've had other players. Saka has come in out of nowhere, seized his opportunity. Same with Martinelli. Martinelli came in at Arsenal. The talk was he's going out on loan.
Yeah.
Martinelli's a young kid. We're sending him out on loan. Did so well. Yeah. Seized his moment. Now he's a starter. He's just about to get a brand new mega contract.
And
he's got at the World Cup. I'll tell you, there was loads of people. Like I was with Brazilian fans, right, and they were angry that he didn't come on in that last game, like against Croatia. They're like, "Why are they bringing on Anthony and all that? They should bring on Martinelli." Right. So this is it. This is it for Eddie. This is the moment. He has to take it, man. This is it, Eddie, man. Take this chance. Take this moment. Every one of those Arsenal fans that doubt you, ram it down their throat. Change their mind. Change their opinion. Make you could really make a humongous name for yourself where it could be like the next England squad's being selected.
That's what I was just about to say. That's his goal now.
Yeah. Because as I said, he didn't go with Ghana.
No, that is his goal.
The next England squad to be selected and Gareth Southgate to be saying, you know what, I'm going to give this Eddie Nketiah a chance.
I can't leave him out.
Ivan Toney looks like he's going to be picking up a ban and all things like that. This is a chance for you, not just for Arsenal, for England as well.
And this is it. The future, whether it be with Arsenal, still may not be with Arsenal like it weren't with Martinez. But look at what he's gone and done.
Yeah, but this is it.
This is it.
This is the moment.
This is your defining career moment to do it.
And he owes Arteta because Arteta showed a lot of faith in him. Just like Arteta, and is this going to be another masterstroke by Arteta? Because he showed a lot of faith in Xhaka.
Yeah.
Right? When everybody said, get rid of him, this guy's washed at the club, and look what he's done.
Put his reputation on the line, put his head on the chopping block.
And he's kind of done this with Eddie.
Yeah.
He's kind of done this with Eddie. He said, no, 100 grand a week contract, number 14, it's yours. We want you to stay. Don't go to Palace. Don't go to these clubs. We want you. This is it.
This is it. You know what I mean? And you look at, there's defining moments for lots of players. You know what I mean? Like Harry Kane was on the verge of leaving Spurs.
Yeah.
Had the opportunity and he took it.
In the Europa League.
In the Europa League. And then, then when he had his chance in the Premier League, he took it. And I can tell you this now, they were looking to sell him. They were looking to get rid of Harry Kane. Like, they didn't think he was going to be good enough. He forced them to be what he is now. Like, you know what I mean? So Eddie's got the opportunity. And I think that you're right, what you say about Mikel. Mikel was, whatever you want to say about it, with the Xhaka situation, he's done it with Eddie, giving him the 14. You need to do it. I've got a feeling that he will. I've got a feeling that
he's going to. I don't want him to just do all right though. I want him to take it by, honestly,
bang it.
I'm looking on it and I'm saying, Eddie, this is it. This is your chance. If I was somebody around him, right? If I was advising him or something, I'd be like, yo, Eddie, this is it now. Don't go out there and just like, the odd goal. Go out there and be the man.
And I'll tell you what.
Go out there and be the man. Be confident. Be the man. Get yourself in those positions. If you miss a chance, don't worry. Keep knocking. Get those. Score the goals, man. Score the goals. This is it. This could be the launch of Eddie Nketiah. Or it could be, as far as his career as at Arsenal's concerned, it could also be because if he doesn't do it, If he doesn't do it, they'll bring you someone to replace him.
Yeah, of course they will.
And he'll drop further down the pecking order. And you probably see by the end of the season, he's available or he's out on loan or something like that. This is it. It's a big moment for him.
Do you know who you should go and speak to? Certainly Ian Wright.
Yep.
That's who you should go and speak to, because I was watching a programme the other day with Ian on it, and he was saying that he went to Arsenal, and all the Arsenal fans, you know what I mean, I do remember it and all going, what do we want him for? We don't need him. We're scoring goals for left, right, centre. He was under the pump.
Yep.
Leicester away, first cup game. He had the opportunity because Alan Smith was ill. Rest is history. Took it. Yep. That is what Eddie has got to do. I don't care what anybody says to that. There's Ian Wright. Ian Wright, did Ian Wright win the fans round? Did he?
They loved him.
They loved him. So you can win these Arsenal fans round.
The thing is already, right, Eddie does have a bit of that cult status where, you know,
they love it.
Eddie, you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? This is it though, man. This, I think, you know, those have been Carabao Cup moments and Europa League moments. This is it now. A lot of people are doubting it. Yeah. Can he do it? Oh, it's a disaster.
100%.
Eddie, show people it's
show
not.
You've got to show it. Show it.
And I believe you have to show it. Yeah. It's a pivotal moment for his career, I feel, at Arsenal. And I'm hoping he's going to show it. We're going to talk about the West Ham game in a sec. Just before we do that, let's get into the pick 10s. Pick 10s is back. I know you've been getting battered by,
battered by
humiliated. Going to a Tottenham shop to buy a flipping shirt after losing that bet with Abby. Right? Now I'm looking to pile on the misery on top of you as well. I know I still got to take you to a dinner before you start.
We're salt bay thing, you know what I mean? After him being in the World Cup, we're changing that one, I think. Like, you know what I mean? Giving it large with the Argentinians, you know what I mean? Like, by the way, this Messi, loving. Come on, like, you know what I mean? Like, he's great.
He's the best player in the world now.
Yeah, but all that us, he's the GOAT. Like, we're all lauding him. He's Argentinian, you know what I mean? Like, he's not our player. He's not nothing to do with us. I've seen him over at the Emirates cheating away and diving and all that. Like,
you don't forgive nothing, do you?
No, I don't. And everybody go, "Oh, Messi."
No, he's the GOAT, man. He is. He's the
brilliant.
GOAT.
I've got to say, he's fantastic.
I went to all their games, right? Argentina. The only one I missed was the
people would want to wear his pants. It's a joke.
This guy, man, he's insane, right? You know what he's doing in the World Cup, right? He's a lot of times he's just walking around. Right? Because I think them World Cup games, they suit him a lot, because what I noticed in the World Cup, they don't really press you high up the pitch. They let you have it in your own half. He just walk around, right? And then they give him the ball, and once he gets that ball, man, he's unbelievable. His quality, he was brilliant in the semi-final. His passing, the way he just goes left and right. He won. I think he had 5 man of the match performances. He's brilliant, man. He was exceptional. That guy's the best player in the world, right? Whether he's the best ever, I don't know. I still, you still got to look at Maradona, Pele, right? But he's up there. He's done it. How many Ballon d'Ors? How many Champions Leagues? He's won the Copa America now, and he's won the World Cup. He's better than Ronaldo now. He's past Ronaldo.
Yeah, he's past.
Sorry, Ronaldo has got a brilliant Portuguese team. When you look at that 11 for Portugal, that's better than Argentina's, and he still can't win it. Now, it's closed.
Yeah, it's closed. The door is closed on that.
The GOAT is Eddie. But no, the GOAT is Messi, for sure, man. So, but let's get into the pick 10. There's a prize pot of £10,000, right?
Nice one just before Christmas.
Yeah, for this Boxing Day games. Of course, we're back on Boxing Day. And let me just run through a few of them. By the way, all you got to do is to enter the competition is click the link in the description and get yourself involved in it.
It's fun. I've got to say,
it is fun. And you don't have to get them all right. It's got the people who get the most right will win the money.
Yeah. And you can play it with your mate, like, you can have a little bit of competition with one of your mates or whatever.
Like how we do it.
How we do it. And it does give you that little bit more incentive, you know what I mean? I let it go a little bit against that. I did. It was coming thick and fast. And Jackie was on me all the time, like, you know what I mean? But these ones, I'm going to say, some of the World Cup when I think I was at a disadvantage. I've got to put this out. How many corners you're going to get? How many bookings and all that? A little bit of.
But it's the same for both people.
Yeah. But it's a little bit of luck, where you go that. But with this here, You've got to look. You study the form.
All right.
It's a little bit different.
All
with
right,
the
that's like you've been studying the form, right? £10,000 to be won, up to in the prize pot for this weekend. Scan the QR code on the screen. Here's a few interesting games.
There
in this
is
one
that top one.
What did you go Brentford Tottenham?
I went for a draw, but what did you go for?
I went for a draw as well.
Yeah, I think it may be a little bit wishful thinking.
Might be a tough game for to
Is Tony
to go
playing that game?
And that's the other thing. I don't know. Yeah, surely he must be because he's been charged, but he hasn't been banned.
No,
yet.
so he's
they may as well try and play him as much until possible
Come on,
ban
Tony.
comes.
Before you ban, mate. Get some goals in.
Yeah, Brentford versus Tottenham. That'd be tough away at Brentford. Their first game back. They didn't have a lot of players at the World Cup. Tottenham, obviously, no Richarlison and that. That might be tough for them. Bristol City, West Brom. I went West Brom.
Yeah,
they're on form at the moment.
Yes.
I'm studying.
No, man.
There'll be too much dinners, man.
This is getting serious.
Palace versus Fulham.
Tough one, but Palace at home, I've gone.
So did I. Everton Wolves was another tough one.
I've gone Everton, though.
I went a draw. This is brand new Wolves' new manager.
Yeah,
I'm studying that. Lopetegui coming in.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah. Southampton, Brighton.
I went for a draw.
I went for Southampton, I think. Southampton, to me, they always do all right against Brighton at home. Leicester, Newcastle's a tough one.
Newcastle.
I went a draw.
Ooh. Is that wishful thinking or?
Villa versus Liverpool. It's some tough games here, You go Liverpool?
Yeah.
I went a draw.
Oh.
Villa at home. Again, Unai Emery.
I better get my jacket ready. I think have a dinner coming here.
Arsenal, West Ham.
Arsenal.
Yeah, I went Arsenal. So those are the pick 10s. There's a couple other games in there as well. Cardiff, QPR, Luton versus Norwich. Right. Enter it right now. Click the link in the description. Scan the QR code and get involved in that right now. Of course, our game is West Ham.
Yeah.
At home. I'm glad it's at home. I'm glad that first game back is at home.
Poxy time, though. There should be a law against that.
Although I was looking at it, I'd rather our one than the Tottenham one. Their one's at 12:30.
Oh, no, I think
after Christmas Day?
Yeah.
I get up early in the morning and go to a game.
Then you got all the rest of the day and all that.
I mean, it kills your Boxing Day.
Yeah.
But
I do think there is that thing with Christmas with families and everything like that, and especially you've got a young family and you've got kids and all that.
It would have been nice the day after, like what United have got.
Yeah, or something like that. I'm with it with the Boxing Day. But I remember back in the day, if you was playing in London, it was always a 12 o'clock kickoff at the because of police. That which has gone up the window now. All of a sudden, that's gone out. So and then you'd be home by 3 o'clock. You can have your bit of dinner and then you got the rest of the day, But 8 o'clock at night, there ought to be a law against that.
By the time we get home that night, it's like 1, 2, especially us.
1,
2 in the morning.
Old days, you got what time do you go? What time do you get home? There's no trains. I think it's
no trains.
No trains.
I forgot. Come back here. Everybody's on strike. Yeah, can't even get an ambulance.
That's what I'm
saying. Don't get injured, man. Any of them players there in that game, make sure you don't get injured, man.
Yeah,
may not get to the hospital.
Yeah. So and to put it 8 o'clock, I know, for instance, there's a couple of my mates that are having pressure being put on them whether to go on it. Do you know what I mean? And I do think that, come on, think of the fans on these days. But they don't care, they're thinking, 8 o'clock kick-off.
It's all about that TV audience, isn't it?
TV audience, which was never the case years ago, but there you go. So I suppose 8 o'clock is a good time for to watch a game of football, I suppose.
How are you feeling in that game?
Nervous. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm not going to lie. I've been a big person that's always said pre-season was important. It's always important. People go, it's only pre-season. I go, no, it ain't. It sets you up. If you look at last season's pre-season and look what happened. Look at this season's pre-season. Look what happens. We've come back, and I thought we'd done well in the 2 games in Dubai. Mm-hmm. But since we've come back to the cold. I've been a little bit worried again. Lots of possession against Juventus, lots of possession against Luton.
2-0.
Yeah,
drew 0-0 with Luton.
Yeah, no goals, not creating but not taking our chances. this is something that was not happening weeks ago. So I am going in a little bit nervous.
To me, the difference between these friendlies and the ones in the summer is the ones in the summer, we had the full team already, everyone rearing to go.
That's the safety net.
Series of games going into it. And if you remember, the first couple games, so think back, right? Because you was at these games.
Yeah.
The first couple of games of the friendlies, right? When it was in Germany, it worked until we bought on the big guns.
Yeah, well, yeah,
I remember
2-0, weren't we?
Yeah. We weren't doing too well
in
in Nuremberg, and I think even the game after that, innit?
Orlando.
Yeah,
Orlando. Yeah, we was losing. Right?
But then after that,
Bosch,
we were on it.
Yeah.
I think with this one, it's been we won the 2 games over in Dubai. We've look at it this way: we played 4, we've won 2, drawn 1, lost 1. I'm not overly worried about it because I just think that these players were just trying to tune up. I don't even think it's like a real proper pre-season where, you're building up. I think these players are ready. Even the players that have been away. I mean, I saw Pep Guardiola saying that the players that have been away are more up to speed than the players that stayed.
Yeah, I heard that.
Which was a really interesting thing. He was saying that, probably you think about even someone like a Saliba, even though he didn't play for France, he'd been training every day with France, so training, at the end of the day, if in training you're up against Mbappe and players like that couldn't have done you no harm in your defensive abilities. So I think it's going to be a different game. I think it's going to, I think it's going to be the same for West Ham. And also we've got to remember, we've got a great record against West Ham at home, a really, really good record. And let's remember, West Ham, it might have come at a good time for West Ham because they've really been struggling.
Well, they had poor results before.
But this is a pressure game for West Ham because they're 16th in the Premier League, right? What is it? They've only won 4 games this season. They've lost 9 games. I don't think
that's shocking, that, isn't it?
Yeah. They've lost.
As bad as that. No, they've lost 9.
They've lost 9 games, West Ham, this season. They're down near the bottom. Remember,
so they've only drawn 1.
Huh?
They've drawn 1.
They've drawn 2. They're 1 point off the relegation draw.
Oh, they've played 15 games.
Yeah. So look at.
We've only played 14.
Yeah, look at that. They're 1 point off the relegation zone.
Oh, do you know what? I never thought it was.
Yeah.
As bad
So
as that.
even though, listen, it's West Ham. It's a London derby. I think it's one of them games that if we get at them early, puts them under a lot of pressure. David Moyes are probably... Listen, I think the break came at a better time for them than us. Yeah. Because we're in the position we're in, top of the league, doing really well. They needed a break because they're under... there's a lot of... I've been speaking to like Nicky, West Ham Fan TV. He wants Moyes gone.
Yeah, he just said that the other
day. I want
Moyes
gone and want to change the management. It's not all of West Ham fans that are saying that, but some are. They're under a lot of pressure, West Ham, to get something out of the game. Now... What they've got a lot of quality players. They've got players like Scamacca. They've got Antonio. They've got all these players that if we're not on it, they can give us a hell of a lot of problems. Bowen and all, but those guys ain't Bowen, and it's not been the Bowen of last season. Antonio's not been the Antonio of last season. They've not really been performing. Declan Rice played a lot of games in the World Cup. He's quality. But I think, let's just remember that they've lost 9 games this season, West Ham. They are beatable, right? This is a massive opportunity for Arsenal to start off, get that momentum going back again, at home, in front of the fans. It'll be a full house. The fans will be right up for it because we haven't seen the team for that long. Because remember, even before the break, half of the games were away from home, weren't they?
Yeah. We had Chelsea and Wolves.
Yeah. So when was the last time we even played at home? Ages.
Bloody Brighton game, wasn't it? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Which we lost, you know what I mean? But that's true. Like we've those last 2 games we was away, way on both, weren't we? Like,
I expect an electric atmosphere.
So when was the last Premier League game then? That's a good at home. Who was that?
I'll tell you. Let me have a look. I didn't really count that Brighton game. And look at what Brighton... No. After all that, they went and lost to bloody Charlton last night. They may as well made us go for it.
Yeah.
Right? But let me see.
Because that's got to be a long while ago, that. I'm trying to think. We must have won it.
The last home game was in the league.
Yeah.
Last home game in the league was the 30th of October. Beat Nottingham Forest 5-0.
Bloody 30th of October. That's
30th of October.
So it's all of November, virtually all of December before we've been back at the Emirates.
Yeah.
Oh God, I can't wait for Boxing Day now. Like, that's a long
I mean,
time.
we
must have
also
played the
we also
Europa League
played
game.
we played Zurich in it on a couple
Yeah,
of
but
days.
that was
Further, that was
but
a
the
game
same.
we were sort of ready through and
Yeah.
all. But yeah, then we played Chelsea 6th of November. Brighton
30th of October.
last Premier League game at home was the 30th of October. We beat Nottingham Forest 5-0.
That seems like
Seems like ages
ago.
Ages. That's nearly. It's almost like 2 months.
Yeah.
Nearly. Almost 2 months ago, because we're playing on the 26th of December.
Yeah.
Boxing Day.
So it's
We're almost
virtually
home, because as I said, that's what I was saying. The before we went on the break, we had away games, away at Chelsea, away at Wolves. So
Phew.
this is a big chance for Arsenal, man. You know what I mean? I feel to hit the ground running. Then we take on Brighton away, which is going to be a tough game.
That is tough.
That's a tough game. We haven't always done brilliantly over the years.
Their World Cup winner will be back on
McAllister,
Friday.
we've been linked with actually. But this is a big opportunity for Arsenal.
Well,
I think
these are massive two games.
you can get wins in these next 2 games, man.
Yeah, and if the season hadn't stopped and we'd beaten Wolves and we had West Ham and Brighton, those two, you would have expected Arsenal to go and win those games.
Yeah.
So but that's what we've got to, I expect Arsenal to pick up 6 points going into these next, and then a massive game against Newcastle. But
Then Tottenham.
Yeah, and then Tottenham.
And then Man United. So tough month. Tough month coming up.
Tough month.
But this is a big chance. And I mean, even I look at some of, you look at some of their recent games, West Ham, before the break, right? 12th of November, they played West Ham at home. West Ham played Leicester at home, lost 2-0. I remember watching that game.
Yeah, I remember that.
Dominated.
Yeah.
They played Crystal Palace at home, lost 2-1 in that game as well.
Yeah, lost to Blackburn and all, didn't
they? Lost to Blackburn on penalties at home. So their home record, normally, their home record is, obviously they're going to be away.
No wonder Nicky wants Moisey out there. Yeah. That's a poor runner.
They lost to Man United 30th of October. And I remember 24th of October, they beat Bournemouth 2-0. And we're very, very fortunate in that game with a couple of handball decisions.
Yeah, I remember that now.
Lost 1-0 to Liverpool, though. They did play well in that game against Liverpool. I remember that. They had to put in a very good performance.
That was at Anfield, wasn't it?
Yeah,
They missed a penalty.
They're a bit unlucky that day.
Yeah.
So it's just a London derby. But listen, if Arsenal are on it, we're supposed to win that game.
Yes.
We've got a great, and as I said, our home form against West Ham has been exceptional over the years.
Yeah.
I don't even remember us losing 1 game against them at home. So this is it now. This is a big opportunity. And we've got to hit the ground running.
Yeah, we have.
I mean, it's unprecedented. We've never had this before, where a World Cup has interrupted a season like this.
No, unprecedented, isn't it?
But
It's back.
can we win the league?
I just got. Do you know what? I think we can if Jesus was fit. Now I'm not so sure.
Got to go and buy someone else.
But I think January is going to be a key on and off the pitch. If Arsenal don't buy anybody in January, you might as well forget about top 4 and anything.
Top 4 as well.
Yeah, I think that'd be one. Because we ain't got a strong enough squad to maintain with the FA Cup also. And people go on about the FA Cup. I'll be furious if we throw that away again, because that tells me that your squad's not strong enough. Get it sorted. So I expect us to have a good cup run. I expect us to do well in the Europa League as well. So so we need to recruit players, and we were short anyway. I've listened to what Mikel's had to say over the last couple of days. He's basically telling everybody that we're short. He knows we're short. Don't leave him short.
Did say that last year as well.
Yeah, well, don't leave him short this time.
What do we need?
3 players. We need a wide player or a forward. If we was to get a wide player, we could use Martinelli in that role. as a forward.
He's already said though he don't really want Martin.
No, he don't want to do it, but we could actually do that. But Jesus is going to be back by the end of February. Fingers crossed. So that would bring him back.
That's what they said about Smith Rowe.
Yeah, Smith Rowe, that's a big
back just before the World Cup. Still,
he's still not there.
I noticed even in that Luton game he didn't play.
No, he's nowhere near it, is he?
Yeah,
nowhere near it. You know what I mean? I actually expected him to be involved on Boxing Day. It hasn't happened, you know what I mean? So there's obviously been a little bit of a setback there. So you can't rely, and even if he comes back, Rob, you can't rely on it.
It's got to be eased in.
He's got eased in. So we need to bring it, and we need a couple of midfield players to, I think Partey and Xhaka have been immense, but they cannot play with it. Yeah, I think that's, listen, I think that, again, you can get him for nothing next season, or you're paying about 20 million. And at the end of it, 20 million's a good price for him. So pay it. So I think we need to do it.
Yeah, I agree with you. You know what I'd do as well? I'd bring back Balogun off of that loan.
Yeah, I'd have him back.
So I was thinking about it the other day, right? What if Eddie gets injured? Who's a striker? Yeah. Who plays up front?
I know he's been doing fantastically well over there in France. Yeah, fantastically well.
So what if Eddie gets injured? What if when we're playing against West Ham we need a goal? Who's going to come off the bench and score that?
Well, that's the problem we've got. Who is going to do that? Who is going to?
I don't know. There's no striker on the bench.
I've got no game changers on the bench. I looked at that the other day and think, well, who's going to come on? Vieira is about the only one.
But I'm on about you need your striker's not firing.
They haven't got one,
right?
They haven't got one.
So that's why I bring Balogun back. Balogun back. Get another wide player, striker. We've got a lot of games coming up. We've got FA Cup. We've got Europa League.
Balogun would play in. Huh? We'd play in the FA Cup, wouldn't he? If he comes back,
and Europa League he could play in. You know what I mean? I'll bring him back.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
And then I think we need to, I think we need to spend some money in this window. I've seen the links with João Felix. I'd love that. I can't see it, but I'd love that. You know what I mean? But it's probably maybe on a Mudryk, but we've got to get a forward player that's, again, going to be
I want that forward, by the way.
Exciting forward player.
Before we go Spurs. I don't want to be going Spurs as just Eddie up top when we've got nothing to come on that bench after that. So I don't care whatever happens. And Man United, because they're two, and Newcastle. Newcastle might be a bit too early because it's the third. But, we have not got in depth. It's all right, all right, we play West Ham, say for West Ham, we blow them away in the first 20 minutes. Not going to do that to Newcastle. It's going to be a different game. And even if you do get a couple of goals up, they've got players that can come back at you. Tottenham away, you cannot go there with just no striker on the bench. You cannot do that, Robbie. You know what I mean? And then everybody turn around, you think you can win the league? No.
Yeah, we've got to strengthen. And we've got to do some of that strengthening early. Some of that strength. I think whoever the forward players have to be done early. Even if we could wait a bit on the midfield, but the forward players have to be done early in that window. And obviously we'll wait and see if that happens. Don't forget, you can check out all of the great content we got leading up to that West Ham game. We're back in full effect here on AFTV. It's West Ham on Boxing Day. We're going to be at the game, of course. So really, really looking forward to that first game, as I said. Since you didn't realise it was that far. The end of October. It's
nearly 2
months.
At
home. First home game. So I'm sure all the fans are going to be rearing to go at that game. So really, really looking forward to that. Don't forget your AFTV PICK10. Scan the QR code or the links in the description to get involved in that. And Lee, it's great to have you back, mate.
Just before we go, because obviously it's Christmas, so wishing everybody that's been watching us a Merry Christmas and all that. But
I got Merry Christmas to you as well.
I got asked this question yesterday. What time? We want to know in the comments about this as well. What time do you have your Christmas dinner? Now,
what time do you have your Christmas dinner?
Yeah, mine normally is about, I'm going to say about 3 o'clock. I think that's the right time. But I heard someone say they have their Christmas dinner at 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock, yeah, that's a bit early.
That's too early, man. That's breakfast, just getting up them times. We're not getting up. Actually, on Christmas Day, you get up early, the kids and all stuff like that. No, Christmas, 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. I remember when I was a kid, right, my mum, she used to make us watch the Queen's speech.
Oh, the Queen's speech.
Remember the Queen used to come on.
The King's speech this year.
It'd be the King's speech this time, right? And we'd be eating dinner around that time, and that was 3 o'clock.
Yeah, it's about 3 o'clock. Mine's always been 3 o'clock,
man. 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock? Ooh,
3/4.
Oh, that's a bit late.
When I think about it, it was about 3 o'clock. 12 o'clock.
Oh, yeah. So let us know in the comments, what time your Christmas dinner is like.
Yeah,
Very
3
interested
o'clock.
to know.
I'm with you, man. 3 o'clock. Old school 3 o'clock, man.
3 o'clock kickoff. Like
Yeah. All right. Let us know. That's an interesting one, actually.
Yeah.
That is an interesting one. And a Merry Christmas
to everybody. Yeah.
Merry Christmas going out to everybody out there who celebrates. Make sure you have yourself a great, great time and have lots of fun. Eat lots of food. And then be ready for the big game, Boxing Day, Arsenal versus West Ham. Thanks for watching the show, and we'll see you back next week.
Merry Christmas.
The Invincible podcast. Myself, Robbie, and Lee Judges come together once a week to discuss all things Arsenal. Straight talking, considered discussion, brought to you by the fans of the only club in Football League history to go invincible.